Assignment 6 focuses on specifically the idea of value as it exists everywhere, meaning in photographs, in text, in design in general, you are always experiencing value, that light to dark transition. Things are lighter and darker than others. And even though you're not aware of it, it's happening within things, and that's what we're trying to really point out this time. So half the assignment is about photography and value within photography. The other half is about text. We're going to start with the photography bit in terms of the example here, and then I'll do a text one separately. You are going to work from pre-printed sources, but for demo purposes, I need to work digitally so I can show you what we're really dealing with here. We've got this bird photograph. If you look at it, obviously you can see the birds, but you're able to sort of appreciate this as a good image because there is this value range. There's light, there's medium, there's dark, shadow, midtone, highlight within this graphic. And that's what we're asking you to do. So if I had a printed version of this, or this is kind of what you would do, I would isolate little sections of this to build a value chart from. There can be color in there as well, because color and value exist simultaneously, but a lot of people find this a little easier if they focus more on grayscale because they have an easier time of telling when it works. So this section of the branch, for example, I could snip this away, and that would be the dark toward certainly the darker end of the chart. It's not absolutely black, but it's a really dark gray. So it's at about an 80–90% gray, and that could work in that darker section. Little pair of scissors, snip out this section of the tail, and that's black. I mean, it's really, really, really dark. It could work at the bottom end of the chart. If you compare this to the dark gray we did a second ago, you can see that it is a little bit darker than that. As we move around the graphic, there are some slightly lighter gray sections that could help take us up the chart. So if I were talking about the darkest tone that I've got here as, quote, black, and this one is, if it's not pure black, it's really close to it, that would be number 10. Number 9 would be the next closest to that black tone, which would be the gray. That would be my number 9. I could step up, and I think truthfully this might be my number 8, and this might be 7 on the far left. But you can start to see when you isolate them from everything that's around them by cutting them out, or in my case drawing the little boxes around them, you can start to see how they do differ from the areas around. We've got some very light sections here in some of the fluffy feathers. I don't think that's the lightest section, but it's pretty light. We have something else that's a teeny bit darker than that, but not obviously as dark as some of the ones we have below. So I would sort of chop out the sections of the image. Once you have that, you can put them together. And this is a digital, obviously, version that I've started to put together with different sections of different images. And I've arranged them. I'm not done. I don't have all 10 of mine here yet, but they are getting darker from top to bottom. You can equally well make your darkest one at the top and your lightest one at the bottom. It doesn't matter, just so long as there's a consistent arrangement and there's a shift, a deliberate shift in one direction or the other throughout your chart. I will post a final version of this so you can see how my chart came together, but again, hopefully this gives you an idea of how you would go about starting to cut out your pieces. Do keep in mind you will have to trim them down. They don't all have to be the same size, but they do need to fit on a page, and you'll use your glue stick to actually glue down the little sections.